How's your thirst for adventure, Captain?
Unquenchable. Tintin.
You ever tried skiing around a mountain looking out of the mouth of a moose? He had a stupid little Robin Hood hat. And it got even worse. Hi, welcome to Comedy Parenting Radio. This is the show that saves you the most money on your mortgage every day. How you guys doing over there?
Good. Good.
The boss is cracking the whip, so we don't have time for a break. So we're eating potato chips and Cheetos during the show. I hope you guys don't mind. So push the little button there on your app that says chip filter on podcasts and radio stations, and you won't hear us eating at all. Wait a minute. Why is there a Cheeto in my cold coffee?
What better place to hide a Cheeto than in cold coffee?
Good point. Anyway, today's show is called I Was Smokey Bear. I really was, and we'll be right back.
Are you stuck with a bratty little kid for the rest of the day? Maybe it's your grandkid, your neighbor's kid, or your own little brat because your spouse is a lousy parent. In any event, you can save yourself a big headache if you give them a copy of Dad the Tooth Fairy Didn't Come to look at. The funny pictures and big vocabulary will keep them busy for hours and hours while you sit on the couch and check your Facebook account. If you're looking for some peace and quiet, order your copy of Dad the Tooth Fairy Didn't Come from Amazon today.
Okay, it's Comedy Parenting Radio, and we're talking about I Was Smokey Bear. What were you just about to say there, Elijah?
So that's why you're so hairy?
No, my razor's broke. And all my shavers, too. By the way, you know how many electric shavers I have?
How many?
10?
21?
No, just 3. Here, you take that over there. 3 shavers, electric shavers, because I keep losing the electric cords.
Oh.
So I have to buy a new shaver, and then that electric cord can charge both of the shavers, but then I pick up the wrong shaver, and then that electric cord doesn't, it just only works for the new shaver, not the old shaver, so I have to get another shaver.
I always thought that
Couldn't you just get a replacement cord?
I don't know. How would you do that?
By going and buying a new replacement cord.
They don't have replacement cords.
How do you know?
Oh,
they probably
for
have
free.
one at Radio Shack.
They have nothing at Radio Shack anymore. Radio Shack is the most pathetic place in the world, and you didn't hear that from me, but it's true.
No, it isn't. Dad, they make fly drones, and they don't make them. They sell them.
If you want a drone or a cell phone, whatever, then go to Radio Shack. Otherwise, skip it. I really was Smokey Bear, but before I tell you about that, I got to tell you, I actually was someone else.
Who?
Who?
You're right.
Who?
Yeah, that's who I was.
Who?
Who?
Who's who?
I was Woods the Owl.
Orton, here's a who?
No, I was Woods the Owl. Do you guys know who Woods the Owl is?
No.
Of course not.
Yes, I do.
He's fallen into disfavor. Woods the Owl was this pudgy little character that the U.S. Forest Service came up with in about the 1980s, I think. And he was the anti-littering owl.
What? Wait,
Anti-littering owl.
As in, who left this can on the ground?
Well, it could be that kind of thing. But because Smokey Bear had a cool ranger hat.
What did he have?
He had a stupid little Robin Hood hat.
What?
But I like Robin Hood hats.
With a feather in it.
What?
But what's so bad about that?
And a belt buckle with a giant W on it for Woodsy the owl.
Oh.
What?
Anyway, when I worked for the Forest Service, they made me wear the owl costume.
What?
Was that because of all the trees you dropped?
No, but I had to wear the owl costume in the 4th of July parade.
Oh, dear.
Well, at least no one knew who you were.
That's the only...
Besides your coworkers.
That's the only thing about that that's the saving grace, is no one knows who you are when you're in the costume. But all your friends know.
Yeah.
Oh, Jerry is Woodsy Owl today in the parade. Oh, Jerry did such a good job in the parade. He's now going to be Woodsy Owl.
For the rest of his life.
Well, yeah, at the school program. Oh, look
Should
at
have been
Jerry,
horrible.
Woodsy Owl, greeting the children with such fervor. When really I wanted to bite their heads off.
Why?
Well, because the kids try to figure out, the person in the costume. And so they're poking at your eyes, and really, in the owl, you're not looking out of the eyes.
Where are you looking at?
You're looking out the beak, out the mouth. And so the kids are trying to figure out what you're looking at, and they're trying to poke that screen when you're looking out. Also, did you know that when you're in a costume, which is basically like a 90-gallon barrel is what it's like, did you know that there's no peripheral vision?
Well, I believe that.
Yeah, so kids can come up behind you and they can pull on your feathers or your tail or kick you or do anything they want, and you turn around and they're not there.
Not very helpful.
No, so anyway, if at all possible, don't work for the Forest Service and wear the owl costume, okay? You're listening to Comedy Parenting Radio, talking Woodsy Owl, and I Was Smokey Bear. Coming up soon. We'll be right back.
Just to see you smile, I'd do anything that you wanted me to when all is said.
Steven.
Who said that?
Me, down here.
Ugh, what are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
What are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. It's been a long time since we've had an adventure in the forest.
Mom took me to the forest last year.
I'm a slug, Steven. It took me a long time to get here.
You're right. I should get out.
Yeah, the forest is not that far away.
Hey, Mom!
Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Ranger Station, Ranger speaking.
Yeah, hi. I'd like to report a bear sighting.
Location.
In the woods, just outside of town.
Oh, not surprising. You've got your home. Bears have theirs.
Yeah, but see, this wasn't just any bear. This bear was wearing jeans and a hat, as in Smokey Bear.
Jeans and a hat. That's definitely Smokey. What exactly did he have to say?
Well, we were about to head home, after having a bonfire.
Oh, I can guess where this is going.
Right. See, Smokey told me the fire wasn't actually out. He said if it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave.
That's true. Did you know that 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans? That means 9 out of 10 wildfires can be prevented.
Wow, no kidding?
I'm a forest ranger. We never kid.
Sorry.
that was a joke.
Oh.
If you see someone in danger of starting a wildfire, step in and make a difference, because 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans. Brought to you by Smokey Bear, the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council. Learn more at smokeybear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Lazy Harp Seal has no job. Lazy Harp Seal has no money. See his earnings, they are meager. He's lacking in business acumen.
Captain, I must inform you, you're listening to Comedy Parenting Radio.
Cost a lot. Look at me and my nice yellow jacket. The color is a special order. It was hard to find. Lazy Harp Seal has no camera. Not even a simple point and shoot.
All right, Major Tom. You're back with Comedy Parenting Radio. I was Smokey Bear. But before I tell you about being Smokey Bear, I was another character.
Who was that?
I was Max the Moose.
Who's the Max the Moose? For those that haven't been watching our earlier shows.
Max the Moose was a character at Buttermilk Ski Area in Aspen, and it's a big purple moose.
Oh.
Why purple?
Well, because the person who invented Max the Moose did a lot of psychological studies and knew that children like purple, like Barney.
Actually, people don't like Barney.
We know that now, but at the time, we thought people liked Barney.
Yeah.
Really? 'Cause
Yeah.
I like Barney.
Well, anyway, the Max the Moose costume is similar to the Woodsy Owl costume, except for you're a little bit more mobile in it. So you have a little bit more like your human shape, except for you have this humongous belly. Kind of looks like a big gumball.
And this was a kid's character?
Yeah, at the ski area. And so what you were supposed to do is put on the costume and walk around and greet the children in the morning.
And ski into trees?
No, but actually I only wore the moose costume maybe once, which was at the original meeting to introduce Max the Moose. And because I wore it at one stupid meeting, everybody thought that I was Max the Moose all the time, which I wasn't.
So you're the original Max the Moose.
Well, yeah, but they actually had dozens of characters being Max the Moose. Three of the most notable ones. Number one, they had one of the supervisors wear Max costume, was a gal.
And what happened?
Well, she was only about 5 feet tall. So the legs of the moose, when she went skiing, the legs of the moose didn't even exist. It was this head with this big gumball and with the ski boots sticking out the bottom of it. Another time, they had a carving snowboarder, which was this hotshot guy they brought in from Spain to teach carving snowboarding. And they thought...
Imagine that. I'm going across seas so that I can dress up in a purple moose costume.
I don't think he was very happy to do it. And it got even worse. This guy was a top-of-the-line snowboarder, and when he put on the moose costume...
He was not...
He couldn't even stand up on his snowboard. And so we had this guy trying to come down the mountain, and he had a gal with him, and he would get up, go a ways, and fall. Get up, go a ways, and fall. When the moose's head came off, and he held it under his arm just so he could go down the hill, I think it traumatized children for life.
Oh, how come we never heard about this until this now?
My two brain cells had it tucked away back in the corner, in a little dark corner. I just thought of it.
Oh.
One of the grand finale moose things, and this may have been almost the death of Max the Moose, was a French guy.
Oh.
Well, what happened?
French guys.
Well, I don't know what it is about the Spanish and the French, but the French guy, he wore the Max the Moose costume, and he was hired to wear the Max the Moose costume, but he couldn't see inside the costume.
Why not?
Of course not.
Well, remember how I said that Woods the Owl didn't have any peripheral vision?
Yeah.
Max the Moose was every bit as bad. Although you did look out of the mouth of the moose.
Yeah.
So you had some vision, maybe a little bit better than the owl did. But you're trying to ski around the mountain looking out of the mouth. I mean, if you ever tried skiing around a mountain looking out of the mouth of a moose?
No.
It's not easy. So this guy got off the chairlift and couldn't see, and he actually had another ski instructor poking the screen out of the mouth of the moose so he could see better when the ski school director came up and fired him on the spot.
Oh.
So can you imagine the little kids who were out skiing around and they came home from ski school or whatever and said, "Mommy, today the ski guy fired the moose from his job." You remember that I was Woods the Owl?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes.
If you do a good enough job as Woods the Owl, you graduate to wearing the Smokey Bear costume. Wearing a Smokey Bear costume is every bit as prestigious as wearing a Mickey Mouse costume.
At least around here it is.
Well, yeah, with the kids. I mean, it's sort of like if you're working at Disneyland and you get hired and you have to wear the Goofy costume or the Dopey, the dwarf costume, and after years and years, you probably work your way up to the Mickey Mouse costume.
Yeah.
I was Smokey the Bear, and I did a good job. And when I did the 4th of July parade, I was the star of the parade. Look, Mom, it's Smokey Bear. Woo.
Only you can prevent Dad from being Smokey the Bear.
They made it very explicit that we don't talk when we're in the bear costume because no one wants to hear a weird voice coming out of the stomach of a bear.
Is that how tall it was?
Yeah, you've been listening to Comedy Parenting Radio. Thanks for joining us today on I Was Smokey Bear, and catch us again next week. You guys have a good day, okay? And when you guys go, you can climb out of that Winnie the Pooh and Eeyore and Piglet costumes.
Thank you very much.
10 aboard. I want everyone back in the vehicles as a code 10 aboard.